Hello and welcome to For Heaven's Sake, a Seventh Heaven podcast. We are your co-hosts, Lady J.
And T.
How are you, T?
Sleepy.
Aww.
With this rain, I want to hibernate.
I get that.
How are you?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Just
I'm
okay?
not sleepy.
Oh.
But I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Which doesn't bode well for this episode, does it? That we're both like low energy.
Okay. Well, first, I have to say something funny.
Okay.
So, to our lovely listeners, you can enjoy this. I hope you do. I don't know.
Sure.
So, Lady J texted me.
Okay. Oh, this is the story you're going to tell? Okay.
So, Lady J texted me saying, what did you say? My poor ears or something? Or my ears are bleeding?
I said, oh my God, why is this happening? It's an assault on my ears.
Yeah. And at that moment, I was at a food show and I was putting out fires. I was getting emails and then I was getting calls. And I had to change a few things around. Because I'm putting out fires and I'm thinking worst case scenario, I'm thinking, oh my God, our audio fucked up. We have to record. And this poor girl is like, what is happening? I jumped 10 paces. That never even happened.
No, it's not. I mean, it's kind of like your fault, but like also like why did I text you? You know what I mean? Like,
but
because I made it clear it was about 10:14, which is this episode.
Yeah.
And that's something that we haven't recorded yet.
And in my head, I'm thinking 10:4. Like, I don't know what numbers we're on, but it was so funny because once I realized that, I'm like, she's probably warning me because it's a musical, isn't it? Like, you know, like I was like that, like it hit later and I'm like, I should never have a phone.
And I just stopped responding because I was like, whatever, man. Yeah. She'll get it when she gets it. Like,
it was, I couldn't stop laughing after all of that. And I said, hold on, let me see what she's talking about. So I read the title. I said, oh yeah, for sure it's a musical. And then I just like, you know, you take that little bar that you just like moving it.
Oh, yeah.
So I moved it. I didn't even watch the episode. I was just skimming through it and I stopped somewhere and I hear music. I was like, oh yeah, for sure.
No, but the part that made me like throw my pen down and I had to pause and leave the room for an hour and a half is the minute Rose opened her goddamn fucking mouth.
What do you mean? She seems like an angel.
I don't care.
It's a bird.
It was a fucking assault on my ears. Like, she didn't even have to start. Like, she just opened her mouth and I was like, assault. Yeah. Turn it off. Pause. Like,
there were a few where I was like, which one is she commenting on now?
Oh my God. Just all of it. Just all of it. This episode...
Throw away.
It's the garbage. Just copy and paste in the recycle bin, empty recycle bin immediately. Yeah. Like, I'm so done with this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And I still don't understand the buildup of conversation about music with the students because it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, yeah, it's basically they got what's his name, Feinstein, he's playing himself basically, and they got him, so they were like, oh, let's have him sit at the piano and teach us history lessons about music.
Yeah,
like. And I love how like everybody just knows Gershwin.
Yeah,
like Lucy like literally walks into her room and she's like, Gershwin, huh? Like,
yeah.
What? No, what are you talking about? Like, it's Johnny Mathis, first of all. like what? Like you don't listen to a Johnny Mathis song and go, oh, I love this Gershwin song.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I know.
Like, what universe is the snow globe becomes crazier and crazier the more we talk about it, man.
I think now I'm actually enjoying the crazy of the globe.
I know. I mean, you kind of have to. Otherwise, you're going to shoot yourself in the face thinking about it. You're going to bird box yourself if you think about it too hard.
Oh,
wait, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
we talked about it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, we won't give you guys spoilers.
No, we won't. We've already talked about it, I think, on this podcast.
Oh, sorry.
I think. It's hard to know where the mics are and aren't anymore.
Dude.
I literally was having this conversation because so spoiler alert, I do another podcast with someone that isn't T. Yeah. But you guys should listen to it because T was on an episode of that podcast.
I was on an episode.
It's called Up Schitt's Creek. It's about Schitt's Creek.
Best show ever, including the podcast.
Thank you. And anyway, point being, like, we were talking about something that happened the other day, me and the Duke, with whom I host that podcast, and we were talking, and I literally had this thought where I was like, I wish we were just like always recording so that my thoughts could just be like, kept like for all time. Like, so that I wouldn't have to like think something and go save it for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Save it. It's always saving it.
Like, just, I don't know. It doesn't really matter what the specific was at that time anyway, but like, it was just one of those, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know the line anymore between when I'm just having a conversation with my friend T or when we're doing it for the podcast. Like, I don't know the difference.
I know, it's the same.
Yeah. So, so this fucking snow globe is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This is episode 1014 titled The Magic of Gershwin.
Okay.
Which you have to do with this hand motion that I'm doing.
Definitely.
Every time you say it, you have to do the more you know star motion.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly that.
And so the Amazon Prime spoilie is Ruthie struggles to get over Martin, which, that's pretty much the crux of this episode.
It's crazy to me that we're going to go into Ruthie getting over Martin. Only because I thought the poor girl was struggling with that from the first episode. Like, we know she's talking about
now
it,
she
but
has
now
to like get over it. And like now she's facing a world where, and from what Simon keeps fucking opening his fat mouth and telling her, there might, like, she might have been holding out hope this whole time, but the minute now that this baby has come and like the proof is in the pudding, like, he is invested, he's there, he's spending a lot more time with Sandy and this baby and stuff. Like, Ruthie's seeing the writing on the wall and realizing like she has to try to get over him, and it's breaking her heart. And I gotta say, Maggie Hamilton, who by the way I feel like is one of the names of the Hamilton children, like, right? Like, isn't it? Like, isn't there a Maggie in the Hamilton family?
Isn't there? Right?
I don't know.
Maybe?
No, Patty. No. Patty's the mom, right? Patricia.
Okay.
They don't have a Maggie in their family. Never mind. Okay, whatever. But this Maggie Hamilton girl, she's like a really good friend. Yeah,
she is.
Her heart is so warm and kind and big and open. Like, I really appreciated her in this episode. Yes. Like, because she didn't belittle Ruthie's feelings.
Yeah, she said pain is pain.
Like, she was able to like help, or I don't know, like, she was able to like break through what you might argue is like, okay, get over it already, Ruthie.
Yeah.
And just recognize that this is like real pain for her, and she's going through something.
Yeah.
And it deserves to be not nurtured, you know what I mean? Like seen and cared about and tried to help get over, you know? I don't know, I was really impressed by her. I wonder if we're going to see her again.
It'd be nice to.
It might be, right?
Yeah, I would like to see Meredith again.
Right.
We haven't seen Meredith.
I was surprised they really even mentioned her in that way. That apparently she's been crying a lot too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I guess I hadn't thought about her in a minute because we haven't seen her, and we've been so focused on Ruthie for the last like 4 or 5 episodes. But yeah, I mean, Meredith's just as heartbroken as anyone. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah. So whatever. Ruthie's in detention. By the end of the week, there's like 50 fucking kids in detention.
All of them want us to do bad things so they can listen to Mr. Feinstein.
And I don't know, for a minute I kind of thought like this was going to be the whole episode. Like, I thought the whole episode was just going to be like a series of like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of like the kids learning like something in Feinstein's detention study hall or whatever. But then that was just like the first act of the episode. Yeah. Like, there's like the first third of that episode, and then the rest of it is really just like business as usual, like just like day-to-day snow globe shit with Ruthie like dealing with her heartache. And then the like old classic thing of like Eric and Lucy just gotta help somebody, like which in this case is Maggie and her family, who we find out are homeless.
Yeah. And can't read.
Yeah, apparently her parents can't read.
Yeah.
Which is sort of the big secret that Ruthie's been keeping for Maggie that she can't tell anyone, which for the sake of their homelessness is neither here nor there. Like Lucy and ultimately Kevin are able to help their homelessness problem, like regardless of the fact that her parents can't read.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. Like from a from like the writer's room perspective, like what was that about? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it didn't lead to anything. It wasn't like a PSA for if you don't know how to read, here's the number. Like it wasn't that. So like what was that about? I don't know. But again, this is the world Brenda Hampton's crafted for us. So we're all just living in it, I guess. It's a really weird episode.
Like, it's not good and it's weird.
Okay, but
I can't say like
why
not
isn't
good.
it good, right?
Yeah, like I can't say like it's just a very weird recipe of an episode.
It's very disjointed.
Yeah.
It's very like a lot of things don't quite add up when you think about them too hard. Like for example, in the Friday detention, right? It's the last day of the week, and Feinstein's basically saying like, I'm done here. So like, don't any of you try to get more into trouble so you can think you're going to come here next week kind of thing. Cause I won't be here or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this kid comes and knocks on the door and is like, the principal wants to see you. And everybody like starts freaking out about, oh shit, like, are you getting fired? And he's like, probably not. Like, why would I be? They're letting me go at the end of the year anyway because they're cutting the music program. So then you start thinking, okay, as from the audience perspective, right? You start thinking, oh shit, is it going to be about that? Like, is the whole episode going to be about like, you know, arts education in public schools and like funding that and why that's important and how it's really helped Ruthie. Like, it's really saved her soul a little bit this week.
Yeah.
Having that place to go every day where she doesn't have to think about Martin and how much she's missing him and how much she loves him. And she gets to like pour her heart into having these like debate discussions with her classmates about, you know, the quality of art and popularity in music and, you know, all this stuff, which we'll get into more later, I guess. But so you start thinking it might be that. And then it's not, because like immediately Feinstein's knocking on Eric's door and being like, oh, I want to talk to Ruthie because I think she might know something about Maggie Hamilton. Yeah. That like she's in trouble. And then we find out that when he went to the principal's office, the principal was like, oh yeah, what's the deal with Maggie Hamilton? Like, figure it out. And my thought process is like, why him?
Yeah.
Like, who's he in this equation? Like, he's a glorified substitute. Like, he's not even like attached to her. And like, why would the principal go out of her way to go, hey, Feinstein, let's talk about Maggie Hamilton? Yeah. Like, what? It just doesn't make sense. Like, they didn't even try to connect the dots there. No. They were just like, whatever, man. Just go with it, audience. Like, what? Yeah. It's just weird.
I still don't know why they even brought Simon and Rose in this episode. To show us what's going on. To
continue the conversation about their wedding.
I know, but just everything. How else is Ruthie going to find out about Martin? Simon will tell her.
That's right. That's exactly the only connection. You get what I mean? We don't have Martin in this episode for some stupid reason. You know why? Because we don't have Haley Duff either. I feel like for whatever reason they didn't want to have the two of them. So they did what you just said, which is we'll have Simon be the Martin and Sandy surrogate here, where contrive a random, like, of all the times for Simon to call up Ruthie specifically and go, you know about music, right? like what is happening? It's so this episode is like such a ridiculous like fantasy. Like, what is happening?
I think when I was done, I said, that was my episode. This is it. On to the next.
So he calls her up to be like, okay, so I need your help to like pick the perfect song that we could have as our first dance. Cause Rose wants to build the wedding around it, which, does anybody? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, who themes their wedding around the dance they're going to dance to?
Write us in.
Yeah, really. I mean, listen, if anyone's done that, more power to you. It's just a little crazy. Okay. So they're talking, and of course, because Lucy's got Gershwin on the mind, she's like, "Oh yeah, timeless, like Gershwin." And he's like, "Yeah, Gershwin, totally." Like, what do you know from Gershwin? You're calling Ruthie to ask about music, and all of a sudden you know Gershwin.
Yeah, apparently this family knows all this music. I think Eric for sure played it when they were babies.
Well, but then Annie's the one that's playing it on the piano.
Oh yeah, she is.
Dude, I'm sorry, but she can't sing. Like, oof, my goof. Like, it was just so loud, and you're just like her volume is trying to cover for the fact that she can't quite hit certain notes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was a little awkward.
This show is good at that.
Yeah, at awkward? Yeah. So Ruthie's like, "Oh, yeah, how, like, no. And then Simon's like, "Okay, now very slowly and one at a time, list every single Gershwin song you know." Like, what is this? Like, it doesn't even, what?
Nobody.
He's like, really, now real slowly, list these are verbatim the words he says, okay? And so she starts listing a bunch of songs, and then she's not slowly listing them. So he's all, hold on, too fast, go back. What did you say? What was that last one? Like, oh my God, it's what is happening right now.
But her suggestion was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to take your best shot. Think about Rose and Me. What's the first song that comes to mind?
Let's call the whole thing off.
It was
girl.
Great. Yeah, I know. I love that the Camdens now are just like blatantly like, yeah, we don't like this girl and we don't want you to marry her.
Yeah.
Like Lucy has said it. Now Ruthie's saying it. Like we're just letting it all hang out now.
And Eric hasn't, I don't know. Has Eric said anything, or is it in so many ways he's shown that he's not a fan of her?
There was that one moment, right, where where Simon was like, "I have bad news."
Oh.
And Eric thought that he was going to tell them that he broke up with her.
Yeah.
And so he kind of like anticipates it. Like he comes home, right? And he's like, "I have bad news." And they're like, "Well, it's okay. It wasn't meant to be," And he's like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" Like, so yeah, anyway. So then because Feinstein's like on the case or whatever and like trying to figure out what's going on with Maggie, Eric obviously gets involved, but meanwhile Lucy like bumps into her at the convenience store, and like they do that hilarious thing where like her bag's contents fall all over the floor, and Maggie's just like, I gotta go, and Lucy's like, that's weird, and then the convenience store guy's like, she duped me or whatever, or she says she hustled me, which okay, basically like stole money from him essentially, and Lucy covers it, but then now she's on the case or whatever, so she and Eric and Feinstein all converge on Ruthie to be like, what do you know, tell us everything, because that's what they do. And Ruthie's like, can't tell you, won't tell you till I'm told I can tell you, sorry, not sorry, bye-bye. Which she's always in these positions. Like, this is like the third time this has happened to her. Where somebody tells her something that she doesn't feel comfortable, like, telling to people that can do something about it because it's a secret or whatever. But really, it's just going to help them if she tells them, and it's a whole thing. But anyway.
That poor Maggie, she didn't know what she got into, and 3 Camdens decide to get involved.
Okay, I don't even care about that, because we need to listen to Maggie singing Summertime. Like, okay, one thing you need to know about me, listeners, this is actually one of my favorite songs of all time. I've heard almost every version of it imaginable, including having seen it in Porgy and Bess on stage. And I love this song. I've never met a version or a rendition of Summertime that I didn't like. I didn't know it was possible to not like this song until fucking goddamn Maggie Hamilton opened her goddamn fucking mouth.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich.
Hold on. We have to listen to the final notes too, because I had to cut around the dialogue. But this final moment, oof.
On you
All of a sudden, her voice becomes a theremin. Like,
I love Seventh Heaven.
I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't talk. It's not like I have the voice of an angel or anything. But like, if somebody just can't sing, like, why are we making them sing? Like, it's an assault, truly.
This show does this a lot. They make everybody
so
turn
bad.
into a singer. I don't know why.
And she's like busking. And then we find out that like she's made a pretty fucking penny singing on the street doing that song.
Yeah.
She's like counting like several dollar bills
Yeah.
that she's accumulated from people. Like, she is literally like, people are eating on the promenade. Like they are like, she is as far away as I am from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're sitting across the table from each other, listeners. Like, that's how close she is to people eating, singing at the top of her fucking lungs like that. Like, geez, Louise.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody being okay with that. But get the fuck out.
God, and then, I mean, I'm sorry, but like the random ad libs she threw into it, like the notes that are coming out of her, like, what is happening? It's not even like what?
Yeah,
And
I
then
know.
and then that one moment where it's like, like what? Like, oh my god. Oh my god.
I wish there was a camera on you right now so everybody could see this.
Oh, it's just a nightmare.
It is. Yeah.
It's bad. And then you get a shot like while she's singing, Eric and Lucy and Feinstein are all trying to like fight over who's going to go up and talk to her and like help her out or whatever. And we should talk about too, like, it's interesting that Eric is wrong about her situation.
Yeah.
Like, he immediately jumps to the conclusion that she's a runaway.
Yeah.
And it becomes very obvious that she's not a runaway, but that she's homeless.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we realize that she's homeless with her whole family. Like, her whole family is homeless.
Yeah.
So Eric admits he was wrong. Lucy and Kevin end up being the ones, they like follow the bus she got on.
Yeah.
To see where it ends, like to see where the line ends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see like everybody get off the bus and they're just like shivering and like standing in the cold and stuff. Like, presumably just like waiting for the next bus to roll around so they can be on it. Cause like Kevin rightfully makes the observation that like a lot of homeless people like just ride the bus all day. Cause at least it's like somewhere
It's
warm
warm
they can be, kind of thing. And so he goes and gives them money for a hotel for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then to give Lucy enough time to like place them in a shelter or something.
Yeah.
Although Maggie says that she's done the shelter thing and that it just wasn't safe and she didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, like, I understand that the Camdens have a savior, or the King Kirks in this way have a savior complex, but like, you know, I mean, it's not like they're incapable of getting themselves into a shelter. You know, clearly they've done that route it didn't work for them. So I don't know. It's a tricky thing, right? Like, I don't want to be the one sitting here being like, go into a shelter, homeless people, like, do the right thing for yourselves. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
True.
You know?
It's true. We don't.
And I feel like Brenda's statement is like, oh, they just don't know any, or they can't fend for themselves. So like, we need to like save them. You know, I feel like that's kind of the message she's sending with this story.
Kind of. Yeah. I think so.
And like what? Like, because they can't read, they they're just perpetually going to be homeless because they can't get jobs because they can't read. So then, I feel like the better if you wanted to wrap it up in a neat bow and you wanted to have a solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
The solution should have been, I'm going to give them money for a hotel for a week. That'll give you enough time to figure out what kind of adult learning classes we can get these two in.
Yeah.
So But then as I'm saying that, they don't know that they can't read because it's a secret Ruthie won't tell. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't see a solution in this one. And I'm glad that Brenda didn't really write one out.
Well, we don't see it play out, but she wrote it, though. The solution is give them money, put them up in a shelter.
Yeah.
We just don't see it playing out. But we do get a fucking haunting rendition of Rose singing to Simon the song that they end up landing on.
So beautiful.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grew tipsy.
I think I cut the whole thing. I don't know why.
And you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about
because I think
you.
because I wanted to highlight there's a few times where she's clearly so flat, like she can't quite do it, you know.
Don't be a naughty baby.
Ugh.
Come to me, do my sweet embraceable you.
Whatever.
All right, Simon, you're so in love.
Dude, okay, so then when he calls Ruthie again to be like, you're a genius, that's the perfect song, I love you, whatever. Mind you, I got to hold the baby and Martin's awesome. And
God.
But then poor Ruthie has to break down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like seeing that. I didn't like seeing her I didn't mind the conversation she has with Eric when she's blubbering all over him, which we'll play in a second. But then in the kitchen, when she finally, it's the next morning, she slept on it. She comes downstairs. She seems to be refreshed and rejuvenated. And even Eric's you look good. You good? And she's yeah, I'm okay. I'm feeling better. And then fucking Simon opens his fat fucking mouth.
Yeah, I know.
And he starts talking about the Martin and the baby and the love it all and the whatever, and she loses it, and she starts saying things like I need detention, I need Gershwin, music is gonna help me or whatever she's saying.
Yeah, basically
it's all a little okay, what?
Yeah. She needs a fix.
And then we get that what we can only assume is a fantasy sequence of Feinstein and her alone in a black room. and him serenading her
with the spotlight on him.
It's so creepy.
I know.
He's 50 years old and she's 12, and he's serenading this love song to her. What?
I'm really confused with this episode.
It's really weird.
I think the moment it was done, I was I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even want to dissect it. Nothing.
It was just, yeah.
Just glad it's over.
Me too. I do want to play the scene though with Ruthie talking to Eric because it's supposed to play for laughs, but again, it's just really sad. It's the middle of the night, no one's asleep. Or rather, Annie and Eric aren't asleep, and then the twins come downstairs, and they're like, what are you guys doing up? They're like, we want cake or whatever. And they're like, what are you guys doing up? And they're like, well, Ruthie woke us up because she was crying. And I was just like, dude, they could hear her from all the way in the attic. Damn. And then they're like, okay, go to bed. And then Eric's like, well, since she's up, let me go talk to her.
Yeah.
And she's literally just a blubbering mess on her bed, fetal position in the dark, just not good.
I thought I was gonna be okay, but I'm not. I love him, and now he has a baby, and he loves the baby, and he loves her. It'll never be okay.
Oh, you'll get through this, Ruthie. Maybe it doesn't look like it now, but you will.
I don't want to get through it. I don't see how I'll ever love anyone as much as I love Martin.
Careful now, you don't want to break Lucy's crying record.
Everything's broken. I just love him. What am I gonna do, Dad?
I'm sorry, I listened to it 15 million times. She doesn't say, what am I gonna do? She says, what I'm gonna do, Dad. I swear to you, I don't have it like isolated, but I've listened to it a billion times like, when I was watching this, and no matter how I slice it, she's saying, what I'm gonna do, Dad.
Now I gotta watch it.
Let me try.
All right.
Let me try to do it.
What am I gonna do, Dad?
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Dude. Okay. Like a vindication. Not to make light of this plight, but okay, this is what I was wanted to talk to you about. Like, have you ever felt like this? Have you ever been in her position?
That heartbroken?
Where you just know, you don't know much, but you know that you love somebody and you just know it's never going to happen.
No.
Really?
I don't think I've ever been in that kind of position. Like I've had crushes and I knew it wasn't going to happen. I know I've liked someone and I knew it wasn't going to happen, but not like this.
Wow. I almost envy you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it's something to be envied, but like, guess that's good. Because like, I've definitely been in that position. And it's awful. Like when you can't, you just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, man. You just can't. Like, you cannot foresee the future where you'll be over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just can't imagine that. You can't fathom that to ever be the case because you're just so in your feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's because with Ruthie, there wasn't a real ending. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how to articulate that either. Because for me, it's like when it ended with two people walking away. This one, she's stuck there. And like Ruthie is.
Yeah.
You know, so
because she doesn't have that closure moment with him, you're saying? Like,
I think so. I think that's definitely part of it. And she's just so smitten. And I mean, I get it.
You know what it is too? I think you actually hit the nail on the head. Like, if he could be the one to come to her and tell her it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it would be easier for her to get over it. Because I think what's happening now is like, she knows it's never going to happen, but she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so her heartbreak is like not just knowing it's never going to happen, but like the loss of ever knowing it's ever going to happen. You know what I mean? And like with every day that goes by that he spends time with Sandy and like gets all like nestled into his little like familial bliss up there or whatever, like with every day that happens, she gets further and further away from knowing, you know?
Yeah.
And like, and I think that anxiety like is like causing like the tears and the heartbreak and all that.
It was a previous episode that the baby was born. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, and she ostensibly like hasn't seen or heard from him since that.
Yeah.
Since they left the hospital that day.
And she wanted to be there for him that day with the scout
and
coming
they
in.
even
and
have the
stuff.
conversation. Annie and Eric even have that moment. Like, it's a little sausage being made moment. It's just the two of them where they're like, did we do the right thing letting her go and see this baby being born and stuff? And Annie's right, I think. She says, yeah, we did. Because it has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's gonna feel these feelings and she's gonna learn to get over them and she'll be fine. Like, you know, I appreciated that. It was like this little nugget of like, lip service to the audience, if nothing
Yeah.
else, of like, well, you guys did this because you let her come, and you know, where it's like, no, she should have been there. It's fine that she was there. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with anything. She was gonna feel this way regardless.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So her having to get over these feelings is just part of this new world order they're living in which Martin is a father, and he's gonna be devoted to this kid, and possibly also to Sandy, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, man.
Did he decide to go up to for that scholarship?
I think the unspoken thing was like basically
That's what he's going
for, because we never saw him explicitly accept it, but like the guy basically tells him like, I know about your situation, it's cool, bro, like we got you, kind of thing. And so that's when he comes running and he's like, I want to go see the baby or whatever. So I got the sense from that like he accept, or at least he's gonna do it, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, which would mean that he's closer, like, right, he's moving up north, he's closer to Sandy and the baby, all that shit. So I don't know. I'm beginning to feel more and more like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, same here.
Like for her and Martin. It kind of breaks my heart because I really, really was rooting for them.
I know.
Listeners get that, obviously, but I don't know. But I guess that just opens the door, right, for someone else. Eventually. I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next episode or anything like that.
Could you imagine? Ruthie has a
In the
boyfriend.
next episode, she's like fine. She's like skipping down the halls.
She decides to give Jack a second chance.
Oh, God. Barf all over me.
That guy had a lot of episodes, if you think about it, for a guy that went nowhere.
But he was only in like 3.
Okay.
He was just mentioned in a lot of them.
Yeah. But also, like, for a potential of nothing.
Right.
He was around.
Well, because just like the kind of shit that they pulled with like, what's his name? There was that guy right before Peter. Remember?
Guy before Peter.
It was like, right, exactly. Jake. I think his name was Jake.
Oh, the guy
They kind of like teased him for a minute, and like they even like had like a kiss or something, and then immediately it was all about Peter.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah. You're right. Oh, Peter.
So they do that a lot, where they just like it's just filler. It's just like, we have 22 episodes to fill, guys. Let's do something. You know, I don't know.
Peter's so cute.
I know, I miss him so much. I think we still have one more Peter and Vic episode, but I don't know when it's coming.
Oh.
But Paris is done. We're never seeing Paris again.
Well, someone has to watch over the baby.
Yeah, really. Okay, this sucks, but I feel like we did it, guys.
But we did, though.
Like, that's all.
there's-
Well, okay, I wonder, should we be talking about the stuff that gets discussed in music detention?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how like important it is. Like, there's a lot of discussion about like rap music, right?
Yeah.
And like its place in the culture, and like, does it belong? Does it have like the kind of merit that warrants it to belong in the annals of music history with things like Gershwin and things like whatever I can't think of. And there's like one kid in particular who's like really vocal about like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
like really loves 50 Cent for some reason.
Hey, you know any 50 Cent?
Actually, I'm not familiar with his music, but I do know something about rap. Are you all fans of rap music?
I'm not.
Why's that?
I'm not, that's all. You really know something about rap, or you just putting us on?
I know something about history, and like all forms of music, rap evolved from something else. Have you ever listened to protest music?
Hey, man, if it's more of that stuff you was playing earlier, I protest.
Oh my god!
We should
And
never
then-
be in school.
I swear. And then it keeps going, right? Because they do this thing like, it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and like it's like one of those like montage type fade out, fade in moments, you know, as they progress throughout the week. And so you get the sense that like the debate is just continuing as the week goes on, but this class that keeps growing. It starts with like 4 people, and then by the Friday, there's literally, it's like standing room only in that classroom.
Everyone's sitting in seats and then sitting on the desks.
Yeah.
Are we gonna listen to any music today, or are we just gonna talk? Ruthie needs something to heal her heart.
Everyone needs something to heal their heart. Music heals.
Wait a minute. Is this about that Martin Brewer guy?
I don't think Miss Camden wants to share the details of her life with us right now.
Oh, come on. The guy had a baby with someone else. Let it go already.
I let it go, all right? Just leave me alone.
It's a process, okay? And I think a little Gershwin would help.
Yeah, always.
Sure. Like, okay, I'm sorry, but like Gershwin, like, is Gershwin the gold standard of like that genre of music? Like the, like, you know, like the timeless feel good? Because when I think of that, I think of Cole Porter. Like for me, Cole Porter is that timeless, like you can listen to it whenever. There's a song for every mood, you know, like,
Yeah, true.
like,
I don't know.
like Unforgettable, right?
Yeah.
That's Cole Porter, right? Or is it
Unforgettable.
Gershwin?
Is it? See, I'm not sure.
Is it just like Nat King Cole?
Could you imagine?
God, we're the worst. I don't know. But like, you know, like De Lovely and like the one about the birds do it and the bees do it and like
Even
Begin the
educated
Begin.
bees.
Like these to me, like Anything Goes, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, come on.
Yeah.
Like these are like the standards that mean something to me, you know, not fucking Embraceable You. Like what the fuck is that song?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Who do, like whatever.
I mean, there was a time where this is all I was listening to for like
Gershwin?
well, Gershwin
Standards like that.
Yeah, there was a good.
I had a
couple of
moment
years
like
I
that
couldn't
too.
Stop.
I had a moment of that too
Yeah.
in my life, like college time.
Yes. Yeah. Same.
Which weird. How did that happen?
I don't know. And I would go to sleep listening to music like this. Like I couldn't help it. It was-
I would listen on my drives, like to and from school and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
And hearing Rose say, "Don't be a naughty baby."
But you know what it is? It's the over enunciation of it, like naughty baby, like barf. Ugh. And her stupid mouth and her stupid face and her stupid just roseness. Ugh.
See, yeah, we don't like her, and there's a reason.
We don't like her. We don't tolerate Rose.
She's really a monster, though. We've said this. Whatever.
She is, and I'm feeling a little more vindicated. Like I don't know if you get the sense, but like based on the comments and things we're getting from our listeners, like I have a feeling we're gonna be vindicated in the end.
God,
like
I hope so.
I do want to read. So we got an email from our good friend Bruce.
Yeah.
You just have to like vamp for time while I pull it up real quick.
All right, guys. So, what do you think about Rose? Yeah, I know. I agree too. Okay. I mean, I feel bad for them.
So Bruce wrote to us and says, comment about what might happen in the finale got me thinking, remembering that episode. Not to spoil it for you, I'll just say I recall lots of surprises. I think you will really enjoy the episode. That's for the season 10 finale, I presume. And then he says, totally agree with your characterizations of Rose. Really the worst. Thanks, Brenda. You got one character right. Not all over the place from episode to episode. Another thought on Rose from this episode is that there is such a difference between her and Sandy. Sandy is so much more likable.
Yeah.
And then he came back. He's like, P.S. Just got to the end of your podcast. I guess Brenda did mess up and like did that wishy-washy thing she does. Because that was the episode where we were like, so do we like her now?
Yeah. Yeah. Was it for the Christmas dinner?
I think so. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So all that good stuff. Speaking of Bruce, so I don't know how many episodes ago it was where we shouted out our newest patron.
Yeah.
And we just didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
We should have known, but we didn't know that patron BLA is in fact Bruce. So Bruce, we wanted to give you a proper shout out. Thank you so much for being a patron and for supporting us and for helping keep the lights on. You are one of our true blue heaven heads, and we're appreciative. So anyway,
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Since we're reading emails, our good friend Cheryl wrote to us a while back as well. It's old news at this point, but we never really talked about it on the air. So, God, it's a lot. But the way everyone keeps telling Ruthie to date that guy this episode made me so angry. I know they were trying to make the point that she was being shallow, but so what? She's allowed to have standards. She's allowed to not be attracted to that guy. This is the nice boy that they were trying to get her to date instead of Jack, that she quote unquote let on or whatever.
She was bumping and grinding at that church social.
Yeah.
Oy.
And then she lets random boy down. He gets pissed at her for wanting to just be friends. And that just made me think of all the news stories about high school girls getting shot for saying no to some guy who asked them to prom or something. And Cheryl, like, obviously goes on, but like, it's a very good point that I don't know that we sort of like touched that nuance. Like, I mean, I know we sort of maybe talked about the double standard, right? Because in the same breath that he tells Ruthie to like handle it, he then tries to handle Rose for Simon when he needs to have her kicked out of his apartment and she won't leave or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's true. And it's like, it's that dangerous thing of like, just because the girl says no to you. Yeah. It doesn't mean she's led you on or let you down or, whatever and all that stuff. So anyway, so thank you, Cheryl, for writing in and for your insights and thoughts as always.
But also it says something about their characters, right?
Yeah.
That Ruthie can do it.
Well,
and Simon can't.
Yeah, I know. But Brenda Hampton has basically written a Simon this season who's a total fucking cuck. Like,
not the Simon that we know.
No. Like,
I don't recognize this Simon, and I don't like this Simon.
Season 10 Simon can go fall off a bridge for all I care. Like, I don't care about him. Like, I mean, I do in the sense that, like, I want to see him get out of this horrendous relationship, and I want to see him get back on track for himself or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to root for him. Like, it's hard for me to keep rooting for him. He's willfully ignoring the fucking signs in front of his face.
Yeah.
Like, she's like being a monster about wedding plans, and she's like, she has the voice of a bird. Okay. So you want this, clearly.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm done being sympathetic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If something happens, I don't know. I think it's one of those, like, we can't have hope anymore for like, is this what's gonna break Rose? Is this,
I don't think
there's no hope of that.
No, I think it's just gonna be bad. And I think whatever happens is gonna happen, but I don't think it's gonna be a satisfying conclusion.
Probably.
For us, the audience. It's just gonna be whatever it is.
Yeah.
Ugh,
great.
I know. All of this hatred and all of this like headache we've been dealing with for the whole season, all for what in the end?
Yeah. Why did you do this, Brenda?
I don't know.
Why?
What a weird way to end a series too, right? Again, keeping in mind she thought this was the end.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird closing note to go out on. Like, that Simon's gonna be this kind of person and that we're gonna have to deal with this crazy bitch and all this shit's gonna happen. And
I'm actually kind of interested. Are we gonna see a wedding? Like, are we gonna see a wedding?
And then it's gonna go bad at the wedding?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, actually. I feel like
Right?
that would be the ultimate set piece for a series finale. Like a wedding that doesn't end up happening.
He ends up marrying Sandy. Kidding.
No, man. I'm pretty sure Martin's going to be with Sandy forever now. What a bummer.
All right. Let's
whatever.
rewrite this ending.
Whatever.
We already know what's happening.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. There's still like 9 episodes left, I think, in this season.
Oh, man.
So, and then plus another 22 in the series. So, like, anything is possible,
Anything.
And really. So, yeah. Blah, blue, blah.
Done with this episode.
That's going to do it for us. Oh, we have to rate it.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, same Z's. Same Z's. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Bad form. There's
Yeah.
nothing here. There's nothing here.
That simple as that.
There's plot holes galore. This episode itself is just pointless. Like, it doesn't really serve a purpose other than just to show the depths of Ruthie's depression, which we already knew, so who cares, you know?
It's true.
Yeah. 2 thumbs down. Which is like maybe the first one of the season? First real 2 thumbs down of the season?
I think so.
God, that's a bummer.
I think.
That's a real bummer.
Amen, but bravo. It took them, 14 episodes to get there?
That's true. That's a streak unlike any other. That is a 14 episode streak that has yet to exist.
But
on the
bravo, it
show.
only took... I'm sorry.
I know. And I don't want to take that away from them. No, you can't take that away from me. Is that Gershwin? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Imagine if it was, though. Okay. Oh, hold up. Before we close this episode, we need to talk about Kevin seducing Lucy.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. We keep forgetting.
I know. Why do we keep forgetting that they have sex?
I don't like Kevin's like really into
Bro,
it.
this is the most explicit they've ever been.
Okay. I would like more, but it's not bad. At least they're starting somewhere. Towards the end of the show.
He's basically like, take off your clothes, let's fuck right now.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, that's what he said.
Yeah. But okay, I will say there is that really cute shot of him napping, and you see, wait, what's the dog?
Savannah. Oh, the dog. Samson, Delilah.
Yeah, you see Samson's like paws right behind. I was like, oh, that's the best shot ever.
First of all, we've talked about this before, but like Savannah's a legitimate actress.
She is. Yeah.
This baby is taking cues. Like, I've never seen a baby take cues before.
She's impressive.
She's amazing. Either that or she's like an empath or something, because like she's feeling all the emotions that you're supposed to be feeling in every scene that she's in. It's so cute to watch. Anyway, that's it.
That's it.
That's all. Basically these two are gonna have a baby. Like, that's what's happening.
Kevin just wants to practice having a baby, making a baby.
No, not even practice. Like, he flat out is like we're on a schedule.
Yeah.
Like next thing, like, I mean, they stop just short of being like, oh, it's your moon cycle. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're basically like, they're saying.
Yeah.
But it's weird though, because Lucy keeps using language like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if they're on a schedule, that means like they're trying. Like it's a done deal.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? But then she's like, yeah, I want to talk about having I'm like, talk or fuck? Like, what are we saying here? Like,
they're just gonna fuck.
Maybe, is that, you think she was saying that as a euphemism?
Oh, probably not. I don't think that's Lucy.
Okay, right.
It'd be funny though.
It would be really funny.
I wish. Oh God, I wish that for Lucy.
Right? That she would be just a little more like brazen.
Yeah.
Just like a touch. Like, I'm not saying like slut it up for us or whatever, but like just a touch.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I guess she's trying. Like,
yeah.
When she says things like, okay, I see what you're doing here. I like it.
Yeah.
Keep the fire going. I'll be back. Like, she's doing it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Their relationship is weird. Who cares? Whatever, man. I don't know. I don't really understand how Kevin and Lucy work, but they seem to make each other happy. So good for them.
It just doesn't seem like that's how most couples communicate, but
yeah, that's my biggest issue with them is like, they're so oddball. they're always seeming to be at odds with each other. And it's like, it's just, you wouldn't be if you were on the same goddamn page.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. No, you're right. I just don't understand why their love story is written this way or the romance between them. I don't get it.
Whatever.
All right.
It's not our place to speculate, although this is the podcast where we would do it.
So 4 thumbs down.
4 thumbs down. That's gonna do it for us on this one, folks. I mean, sorry, it's kind of a turdy episode. It's just is what it is. Hopefully the next one will be better. Until next time, bye.
Bye.